Have you ever been playing Dress to Impress and come across this situation?
That is not a Spice Girl. 1 star.
I don't even know what a Spice Girl is.
How do you not know Spice Girls? Are you like 5?
Okay, Grandma, I wasn't born before the 2000s like you. Skibbity, tra-la-lero, tra-la-la.
Oh my god, playing with kids is the worst.
Of course you have. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The clash of the ages. Typically, Roblox is seen as a game platform dominated by the younger players. But how true is that really? Roblox undeniably markets itself to younger generations, but what about the older folks who also find themselves playing and enjoying these games? Is it actually common for adults to play? And maybe most importantly, are they too old to be playing video games? Today, we're diving into these questions and taking a closer look at adults, myself included, who play Dress to Impress, and whether there is some magical age where you suddenly become too old to be playing dress up online.
Howdy do, fellow kids.
What?
And to help me unpack all of this, I'm going to be joined by Suki Plus today, a fellow DTI baddie and adult gamer who has been gaming in the space for over a decade and is a strong proponent for gaming into adulthood. So, without further ado, let's dive into it. Okay, first, before we get into the psychological and social nuances of gaming and age, we need to understand the actual demographics of Roblox. Do adults really play? Platform and market data emphasizes that users under the age of 13 make up about 55% of all Roblox users, which is a lot. So yes, the perception that Roblox is mainly for younger players does have some truth to it. But interestingly, data released by Roblox itself in 2024 claimed that its fastest growing demographic was of the ages of 17 to 24, so that's a little bit older. And actually, 19% of overall users were 25 years old or older. Unfortunately, I really wanted to find data that broke down that 25 plus age group even further, but there doesn't really seem to be any reliable public data on it yet, sadly. Super tragic because I genuinely wanted to know if there were a bunch of grandmas and grandpas out there logging into DTI every day, because that would be really badass in my opinion. Your grandma out there? Hell yes, keep playing. And super interestingly to me, not to call any of y'all old, but according to my YouTube analytics, the biggest demographic I have that actually consumes my content is ages 34 to 44, which was a huge surprise to me. That's really cool. But this data is just Roblox. If we zoom out even more and look at gaming as a whole, the picture gets even more interesting in my opinion. Gaming has expanded massively in the recent years. One 2020 study found that almost half of adults from the ages of 50 to 59 play video games. That's a lot. So clearly adults do play games, which brings us to the bigger question: why does this stereotype exist that gaming is only for kids? And is there actually any value to that stereotype, or is it just another unnecessary judgment people use to shame others for aging? We certainly live in a youth-obsessed society, and I think aging is difficult for everyone. So let's keep breaking it down. A lot of that stigma actually comes from the early days of video game marketing in the 80s and 90s, when gaming companies positioned games as toys rather than general entertainment. They marketed them to parents as something to buy for their kids specifically, instead of presenting gaming as a broader entertainment media the way that television was often framed. So whether you're an adult, a teen, or a kid, if you're a gamer, you've probably come across the idea that once you, quote-unquote, grow up, you're supposed to stop playing games. Maybe you've been mocked in voice chat by that Call of Duty bro who thinks that being an adult gamer is embarrassing. Or if you're younger, maybe you've even had your parents tell you that gaming is something you outgrow and you should be doing something more productive and get more mature. I've definitely experienced both. But despite these sort of cultural assumptions about maturity, let's ground ourselves in what the research actually says. One study that followed teens into their 20s and 30s looked at whether adolescent gaming impacted adult milestones like education, work, family life, etc. And interestingly, it did not find that gaming in general prevented unprecedented success while transitioning into adulthood. In fact, research has shown that gaming can improve cognitive and emotional skills in healthy adults. However, of course, that's not to say that there aren't negative effects. Some studies did find that certain gamers neglected work, school, relationships, and sleep, but those negative outcomes were tied more closely to gaming addiction, depression, and using games to fulfill unmet psychological needs. And sadly, those things can happen to anyone at any age, so it isn't really linked specifically to a certain number, showing that the negative effects of gaming really wasn't a reflection of transitioning from childhood to adulthood and more just using gaming as an unhealthy tool to deal with other baggage in your life. So, we can look at all this data, and it's really helpful because it gives us a more grounded understanding of gamers as they age. But what does it actually feel like to be someone who starts gaming in childhood and then continues that hobby into adulthood, or maybe leaves it behind? And full disclosure, I am well over the age of 25. In fact, I'm probably old enough to be the mother of some of you kids out there, which is, yeah. But personally, I prefer the title of the cool weird aunt rather than mom, but whatever you like. Anyway, this is why I'm really grateful that Suki agreed to join me for this discussion. Like I stated before, she's a fellow DTI player and content creator, and she shared with me that she's about to move into her 30s. She sat down with me to reflect on what it feels like to be a gamer in the DTI space, which is heavily populated by younger players. Okay, let's just jump right into it then.
Okay.
Do you think, I'm just gonna ask you the straight up question, do you think that Dress to Impress is only for children?
No, because that makes me think about Roblox as a whole. I mean, it's just a gaming platform that's for all ages, right? So it is kind of aimed towards children and it's for that audience, but it is for E for everyone, like how games are rated. Anyone can play it. And it's not just for kids or targeted towards kids, in my opinion. I think it's for anyone who wants to play. And kind of this by the same comparison, a lot of people think that Animal Crossing is for kids. There's tons of adults who love Animal Crossing and cute things and cozy things. And I think for a lot of adults, it's about reclaiming their childhood or just holding on to what makes them happy. And I think they should be free to kind of do what makes them happy and what brings them joy. And for a lot of people and a lot of adults, it's playing games. And I think Dress to Impress just happens to be on the Roblox platform. And so a lot of, maybe not a lot, but you have this kind of percentage of Dress to Impress players who are actually fully grown adults who have jobs and pay taxes and all that, but they still get on Roblox at the end of the day to have their little creative outlet. And that's pretty much why I use it too. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, I downloaded Roblox myself a year ago just because I was like, what are the kids these days talking about? I gotta keep up on this. And Dress to Impress is they push it because it's their most popular game. And I was like, whoa, I didn't expect this game to be on Roblox. I don't feel like it needs to be Roblox, which has the sort of kid title, right?
True.
And then secondarily, too, I kind of feel like millennials grew up in an era where dress up was such a thing marketed towards girls. We had obviously Barbies and Bratz, and there was so many various flash games and stuff. So it kind of like you're saying, it's nostalgia, but it's also just very familiar.
Yeah.
You know? At least for myself, too, it's the idea of growing out of something. I was curious how you felt. I was wondering how long you've been gaming. I assume maybe since you were a child. And if you feel like you've grown out of interests throughout gaming over time.
Yeah, I definitely come from a background of gaming. I mean, one of my earliest memories as a kid was doing my little penmanship homework next to my older sister who would be playing on the Nintendo 64. Specifically, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. That was the foundation.
Oh, yes.
I'm having older sisters who were into gaming, 2 older sisters, and they were both into gaming, definitely kind of set me up to have that gaming foundation. And then as I grew up and aged up, I kind of continued to game. And once I became an adult and I was able to build a PC, then I was really able to get back into this gaming hobby that has always kind of been there, but either I didn't really spend a lot of time doing because I was either I either didn't have the hardware, like my very like crappy old laptop that wouldn't even stay on unless the charger was being pushed into it. That was like my high school days. And then once I got into college, I just didn't have time. I like wasn't really gaming or doing anything fun, actually. Pretty much until from the time I started college to when I graduated, because when you're a full-time student and part-time job, there's just no time. You are like up, studying, working, back to bed. So now that I'm graduated and I'm in a place where I have like this computer and stuff, now I'm able to kind of reinvigorate that old hobby and kind of be like, gaming is who I am and it's who I've been for like since I was little, and that's not something that's going to change. And a lot of people see it as, you know, or they might see it as like childish or, you know, immature. It's just something that like is a part of people. And so you can't like take someone's like hobby away or anything like that. That's just like who kind of like we are. So it's a good thing that I have a partner who also loves gaming, because we love gaming and we're both up until like 3 a.m. gaming at night, because we both have our own little things and games and stuff like that. So
very important. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. You know, you touched on something very interesting. There's like this, I think I'm going to call it a stereotype that games are for children. And I want to do a little bit more research into this for my piece as well. I haven't quite finished yet. But, you know, I have a hunch that it might be like a generational thing, because I think millennials really were like right on the edge of the internet, right? Like, I mean, obviously, whatever, Gen X and everybody else has access to it, but we were like 10 years old when we were like going into chat rooms and stuff. And we were really like the first kids to do like multiplayer. Like, it's very different nowadays. Like when I was growing up, like in high school, I had like TeamSpeak and Ventrilo. Like there was no way to like chat. Now like voice chat is built into like every game. So like it was still kind of restricted, but point being is I feel like that, you know, because it was such an integral part of us being children, like the ability to game like this on such like a wide scale, it feels to me that it's been integrated into our maybe personalities or interest in a way that, like, for example, a boomer maybe didn't have the chance to do, because it was, you know, a formative part of our youth, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to see, like, as our generation becomes the grandpas and grandmas, like, are we going to be like in old people's homes, like with our Nintendo Switches? Like, still playing Animal Crossing?
Honestly, probably. And don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure I saw a statistic that said that the average gamer is like 40. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, some people just grow up gaming, and that's not something that's going to change. And well, I'm also curious too, if you feel like your experience, because you've been gaming for so long, how it feels for you to see the landscape of gaming change over time. Like for me, I had this weird moment, like when I hit my late 20s, where I was gaming, and then suddenly I'm like gaming with like 16, 17, 18-year-olds, and I was like, oh, I'm about 10 years older than you. That's fine. Like, it's like generations can intermingle, but like suddenly there becomes this awareness where, like, as we're seeing with the robot chat block thing, like, oh, when you're older, you shouldn't be interacting with teenagers. Not that we have ill intent. Like, I'm not a creeper, you know, but still, it's, you know, as you get older, it suddenly is like, is it appropriate to be just like hanging out with kids, even if you're just having fun? And that was a weird transition for me to realize I'm aging into that adult era and I can't just hang out with all the teens anymore. I was wondering how you felt about that. I've approached this same issue actually, because as you know, I do a lot of collabs with different creators, and people in the creator space are anywhere between like, you know, 15 to, I mean, like 30 and up. It has put me in an interesting like position, because it sucks to feel like, so, I mean, it's good to be self-conscious and aware, but it sucks to be like, am I doing this like wrong thing by making an outfit with someone like on a dress-up game? You know what I mean? So there is that like that boundary line where it's like, you know, I approach it as I only interact with them in the game and about the game. And there's no other like outside. I would never message them first about anything. I would never talk about other issues. Like, I would never approach them as like, you're my little online friend that I'm gonna like talk to all day. Then it becomes like, then it's like, that's not necessary. Like, we want to pull back from that. You know what I mean? So I've worked with people and creators who are like around 16. And when we do work together or record, we're usually in my like public server, like group chat, and then we're just in there to like film the outfit. And then that's it. And then we have a good day and we say bye, and then until next time, pretty much. So that's kind of how I've approached it, and I've never like ever tried to make anyone uncomfortable, or I'm just very aware that that person isn't like my friend. We just like play Roblox sometimes, and we just like work together on videos. I approach it mostly as a content creator thing. Like I'm just kind of there for the video, and I appreciate them and they're cool and all that. But like when people come on to me, and this hasn't happened a lot, but a couple of times I've had to kind of leave people on red and like kind of go do my own thing because I can see that they're kind of like clutching on a little too hard, and I'm like, okay, I need to like, it's up to the adult to like set the boundary and say, you're great, thank you, but like let's just keep this like to the game, and about making videos. So
no, that's fair, that's responsible. I was gonna ask you if you had like, since you are a content creator, if you had a cutoff age of who you would collab with or play with, because you get a whole bunch of different ages on Dress to Impress.
I don't really have a cutoff, but it's definitely a vibe check, if you know what I mean. There's a creator I've made several outfits with, and he's been in a lot of my videos, and I think he's 16. And he's like super mature for his age, and he's fine, and he's chill and whatever. And then I have like another content creator friend who's 19, and he's all over the place, and he can never like show up on time. It's just like, it's like the specific age doesn't matter. It's just kind of like, can you be mature? Can you be responsible? Can you show up? Are you good? Like, are you good at the game? Can you like handle? Can you communicate? That's mostly what I'm worried about. So yeah, collabing with people is definitely just like a vibe check. And I kind of like, I'm a little bit picky. Like I won't do it with just anybody. Usually people who are commenting a bunch about collabing or really desperate are usually kind of young anyways. And I'm just kind of like, wait a little bit till you kind of mature a bit.
That's fair.
Yeah, definitely a vibe check for sure.
I know I get a bunch of people commenting too and asking for collabs, and like I was like, okay, like in theory that's fine, that's fun, but then I was like, oh, I don't know, and I put like, you have to be a 21 plus is like the rule I made for myself, but I don't know, I haven't quite figured it out yet. Like I want it, like you're saying, I want to be responsible. I know there's no harm in it necessarily, but it's a weird space to be in as an adult.
Yeah, it is weird. And I mean, even people who pass the age check might not end up being the best like person later on.
Sure.
So the content creator space is really interesting to navigate.
I've been like a gamer my whole life as well. Obviously grew up on Zelda, very, very important.
Yeah. So,
but in my high school days, I used to play a lot of first person shooters, and this is sadly before Twitch existed. Like had Twitch existed, I would have been all over that shit when I was in high school.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's sad, but I used to just get on a webcam with like 5 of the random people I met online, and we would just kind of like play and chat. And at the time, I was like 15 or 16, and some of the people I were chatting with was like, in their late 20s, early 30s, and like they were just my friends to me. And they were all men, that's usually how it is. And it's it's fine. But like when I look back on it now, I was like, oh, well, there was like quite a few of them saying creepy shit to me. And like some of them sent dick pics. And even though I like laughed it off and I was like, you're a loser, I was like, I was 15. You know what I mean? And it didn't like scar me because I considered them like, I'm one of the boys. Like I had that attitude, but it's weird to look back on it now and to see, like, I was going to ask you, like Roblox clearly after the whole schlep thing and whatever is like, the age chat restriction, like you can't talk to anybody. I was curious how you felt about that now.
Yeah, I think seeing a bunch of like locks in the chat is a way for me to be like, okay, I'm just gonna go to another server or just go somewhere else, because it's like, why show anything at all? I mean, if you can't even engage with it. And it actually brings up an interesting issue for runway collabs. So I do a lot of runway collabs where I invite like 10 to 12 people, and I say we're all going to make this kind of outfit, and we just take as many rounds as we want to get dressed until we like film. But if there are people in the collab that aren't in the same age group, they can't see what I'm typing. They can't see me say, we're going to film next round, or like they won't see me say anything in the chat about what I need them to do or what I want them to do. So then I have to go on Roblox voice sometimes, and that's the worst because I curse a lot. And almost every time I get on Roblox Voice, I get a warning. I'm like, this is why I can't do this. And that actually forces more of them to go to Discord, which is exactly what Roblox doesn't want them to do. They don't want them going on these third-party platforms or whatever to chat and talk to strangers. And so I see what they're trying to do, but it's not really a perfect solution.
Yeah.
And we can see like that with the people kind of trickling into the wrong age groups and all that. And the cutting off of communication, it just really makes the experience of the game a lot more lackluster, and it's a lot more boring.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that like whatever data they'll release, they'll claim that it helped prevent bad things from happening, but I would be curious to know if it actually is really doing anything.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I was going to ask you how you feel about an 18 plus server, and if you would like maybe Dress to Impress to kind of maybe pander to some of the adults. Like, I think right now they're pretty neutral. I feel like I don't know, it's more like younger, like early 20s, like late teens seems to be like the type of audience they're speaking to. But I was curious how you felt if they were like, yeah, what about all the moms out there?
I mean, yeah, I think it would be great, because I've made maybe a video or two about, finding people who are like over 21 or whatever. And specifically, I made one video about this where I said something like, oh, when you finally find somebody who's over 21 or whatever playing DTI. And that video kind of blew up, and I got a lot of girls, women, a lot of people to say, we need a server because I'm tired of playing with these kids. I'm tired of playing with these 10-year-olds. So I really do think there needs to be some separation, whether it's in the game or if Dress to Impress would separate from Roblox. That would be really cool too. I think it would do really well outside of the Roblox platform, but that probably won't happen anytime soon, like you said.
You were saying like sometimes it feels like, oh, I'm tired of playing with these like 10-year-olds, and while that's like fine, I like seeing different generations and different styles or quote unquote interpretations or lack of thereof of themes, but like some of them like piss me the F off like so bad. Like every time like the Tudor era comes up as a theme or the Victorian era, I'm literally like, okay guys, Tudor era is Shakespeare. Okay, like Victorian is more like Bridgerton, closer to. It's like that general, and I always have, and they never get it. It's always just like anybody with like a big fluffy dress, and I'm like, no, it's not the correct era. And they're like, what are you, a history buff? And I'm like, no, I'm just educated. Like,
you just don't understand fashion. They just don't know. And it's so funny because I was playing in a regular server the other day because I was playing with my boyfriend who is a fashionista. And he can't play in like the pro or like doesn't have VIP, nothing. So we're just regular server, right? And I'm like trying to dress down. I'm like, how few items can I wear? How simple can I look? How fast can I hide my name tag so that I can maybe podium? Never.
Yes.
It will never work.
It's hard. Yeah, you got to hide that name tag right away.
They don't know what looks good. They're so new to the game that they don't even know what's possible. So when they see something that's too, like, deviating too far from, like, the new model look, they're just like, And they don't vote for anybody anyway because they want to win.
It's true. Yeah, I actually remember when I first joined the game, if I saw anybody that like had something that looked fancy, like at the time I didn't understand layering or I didn't know all the items, this is like my first week of playing. If somebody had anything fancy, I was like, oh, they probably just bought it. I don't even know what VIP is, but they probably just bought it. So I'm going to give you 1 star because that's cheating. But now I'm like, oh no, most of it is actually just creativity. It's not VIP. Like,
yeah. High rank, 1 star.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You get it. For my last question then, I'm just curious, do you think you'll ever stop gaming?
No. Maybe one day I'll stop playing Dress to Impress, but even before Dress to Impress, I was gaming, and if you look back at my TikTok, I was actually posting like some Elden Ring clips and some League of Legends clips that never did well, by the way. So I'm glad I found Dress to Impress, but I'm always going to go through these phases, and if I find a game that I really like, I just kind of hold on to it, and that's just my phase for a while until I find a new game. And right now, I'm really into Dress to Impress, and they've been doing really good with the updates, but I always have some other games going on in the background because, I'll always be a gamer. So, yeah, I don't think that's stopping anytime soon. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you want to add that I didn't ask that you feel like is important? Or do you have any advice for adult gamers, someone who might be hesitant and thinking they're too old to start gaming?
Yeah, if you're a gamer, just keep gaming and doing your thing. And if you have the means to make content, you should totally record and post your content because you never know. Like, you never know what'll be out there waiting for you. And I think my biggest piece of advice for people posting content is don't care about the numbers. Just post and then move on to the next thing, move on to your day, move on to the next video. It should be secondary. You should be doing this because you enjoy it. Otherwise, you will burn out. So
yeah, that's great advice.
That's it. I think my kitty wants to say bye. Do you want to come up here?
Hi. Oh, hey, Fuzzy. What's her name?
Oscar.
Oscar. Oh, look at those little fuzzy knees.
Oh yeah, he's very fluffy.
Okay, so where can everybody find you?
Okay, so I am Suki_Plus on TikTok and Suki Plus on YouTube, and those are my main two platforms that I post to right now. I also have a Discord called The Dressing Room, and it's really cool and it's really fun in there. You just need to be at least 16 years old to join. Otherwise, we'd love to have you. That's mainly it. I don't have an Instagram. I don't have Pinterest or anything like that. So if you see my stuff on there, it's fake.
Good to know. Good to know. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to join your Discord now.
Woo! Yes, please. More people.
Well, thanks again. And this was great.
Okay, great. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Overall, whether gaming is something you grow out of or something you carry on throughout your life, I think the most important thing is that we encourage people to have a healthy relationship with it and stop focusing on how old you are. I think using gaming as some kind of marker of maturity feels less and less relevant as time goes on and technology evolves, and gaming becomes more normalized across generations. What matters more is that we create a safe gaming environment where adults and younger people can interact appropriately, and that we help people keep gaming as a fun hobby rather than a substitute for unmet psychological needs. But now, I'd actually like to hear from you guys. If you're comfortable sharing, how old are you? How long have you been gaming? And do you think you'll ever stop? Personally, myself, I don't think I ever will. And if some of y'all are quote-unquote older out there, or are going to be entering into adulthood soon, I hope that this video has made you feel a little bit more confident in enjoying DTI and other games if you play them. We all deal with enough social pressure as is, and gaming really doesn't need to be one of them. Oh, and of course, please go show Suki some love. I really appreciate how candid she was to have this interview. Talking about age can sometimes be really vulnerable, and I think she was actually really courageous to sit down and openly share her perspective. So go give her a follow, join her Discord, give her some love. Thanks, Suki. And until next time, friends, see you out on the runway.